when I stood on that treadmill getting ready for this test, I put the mask on, hooked up to the computer, and they go to me, holy hell, you're burning 100% fat. They had never seen that before. It's not so much that we accumulate fat tissue, or we accumulate, let's just call it energy for now, fat tissue. It's that we can't get rid of it again. We can't use it. We're meant to have fat tissue. We can't live without it. Is that if insulin doesn't drop in your blood, then the fat from your fat tissue cannot be released back into the bloodstream. You're not skinny because you're running all the time. You've actually got the energy to run because you've got this fast metabolism, and you'd probably be skinny anyway.
Yes.
Whether you ran or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But every time you eat, you get like hyper, so you got to do something. Yeah. When you have this, and we've all seen the morbidly obese, okay? Is that when they eat, that fuel is so partitioned mainly to fat tissue, no matter how much they eat. So if you think about it, this person that needs 2,500 calories a day might be eating 5 just to stay alive, just to maintain bodily function. You see a picture starting to appear here? First one is your genes. And we can't do much about that. You know, we're stuck with that. So you could basically just feed him and feed him and feed him and feed him, and you'll put on very little fat. As you can see, it's pretty much all muscle. And that is what that breed is famous for. It's called the carcass breed, because they just make meat. And you feed him carbohydrate. What do you feed cattle? You feed him grain. It's a dairy breed, so you could feed that and he will never ever look like this. Yeah? It's not like that when, you know, when it's 7 o'clock and Limousine is sitting in front of the TV, you know, chilling out, he's up, you know, running 3 laps at the back paddock. That's not what's happening, isn't it? See what I'm saying? See how genes are, how strong they are? And yet in animals, we don't doubt that. Would you say that this guy ate too much and these guys ate too little, or could it be something genetic? It's just where you start on that scale, that's where you start. I truly believe it is possible to manipulate that. Okay? It's just different for me than it is for you. So I had to be at work at about 7, but I would get up at 4, or sometimes 3:30, and I would run for 2 and 3 hours. Okay, I would do things like drag tyres behind me for 3 hours. I would run stairs 50 times. The whole workout takes me 3 hours. What I was doing at the time was about over 100 kilometres a week of running, or close to 100 miles. You know, but I just thought, well, if you don't die, well, you're going to be stronger. It's not quite that simple. It's very normal for me just to eat once a day. Every 24 hours, so like you don't really get hungry. I just want to distinguish between fasting and starvation. Fasting is when you eat up basically your energy stores, your fat stores. Starvation is when your body starts eating your muscle tissue and your organs. So what I was trying to do was basically mobilize all my energy to body fat. So this is what happened in 4 days. I dropped 3.2 kilos and it was 7 pounds. And my blood sugar went from average 97 to 71. Now that was 4 days. I hadn't really expected it. You actually enter into a state called ketosis. Anybody heard of ketosis? And this is a stumbling block. Because if you cannot produce ketones, you can't sustain mainly having just fat in your diet, because your brain is going to scream out for glucose. So all this is getting fed, but this is not. And it doesn't matter how much this is getting fed when this is not, that's it, end of story. Now it turns out that your brain prefers ketones over glucose. dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, whatever you want to call it. As far as I can see, is basically a diabetic brain. You know, the glucose will not come across into the brain to fuel the brain because it has become toxic for the brain, just like the other tissues in your body can. So then cells start to malfunction and basically die, yeah? Ketones can fuel the brain very well. So you're able to fuel the brain when it will not accept glucose anymore. There's better blood flow. And this would also happen to your brain. There's there's small blood vessels everywhere. So when you run on ketones, this is happening everywhere, you're getting better blood flow. This could also explain why my running improved as it did. It's going well. You get this sustained energy. And I didn't just stop at those 4 days. I took 3 days break and then I fasted for 10 days. I just stopped yesterday. And I kid you not, I have been sleeping about 4 hours a night. You know, if you had to describe it, it feels like being on 5 cups of coffee a day without the shakes. It is just, look, I was doing it well before because I pretty much started this diet a 1.5 years ago. And I used it for my running. I got down to eating once a day and I didn't, you know, bulk out when I ran and I was just feeling, but I've always probably felt reasonably good. But this fast just took it to like the extreme level of what's possible. Like through the day, it just, I wouldn't even think about taking a nap. And I'm eating nothing.
What is it, Rudy?
Well, it's a combination, as far as I can see, and I should say that more according to what I've studied, this is all like my conclusions.
I understand.
Look, where you are, say, metabolically, is a combination, obviously, of things, but then it's been the environment, mainly what you've ate, what you've eaten. This is cancer. So this really represents, the blue is healthy cells, and then you've got cancer cells and healthy cells. So like a tumour. And this is research from one of my favourite researchers, Thomas Seifert. Is basically what he says is cancer is not a genetic disease, it's a metabolic disease. And this whole idea is what I'm so excited about, is that your metabolism, that basically could determine